Have you decided on a name yet? See if you can come up with a few good ones before you come back here. Then we'll see if I can't whip up something more iconic based on the name. I'm Invincible. Today on the Comic Book Report, Invincible, The Ultimate Collection, Volume 1. Stick around and check it out. Greetings all, my name is Dominic and you're tuning in to the Comic Book Report, where we review comic books and graphic novels so you can get an idea of what to read. And today we've got a real treat for you. I'm diving into the Invincible Ultimate Collections, starting today with Volume 1. Invincible is probably the most popular indie comic superhero, and I cannot wait to dive into the review today. So sit back, relax, and let's go ahead and get started. First, some quick facts about today's collection. The issues inside this volume were written by Robert Kirkman and penciled by Cory Walker and Ryan Ottley. These issues were first published by Image Comics beginning in 2003. The volume itself collects Invincible issues 1 through 13, and this oversized hardcover comes in at 400 pages. At this time, I'd like to issue a brief spoiler warning. I will be flipping through the entirety of today's collection, as well as commenting on plot points throughout. You've been advised. Okay, and here's our first look at that oversized hardcover from Image Comics, and I have to say, this thing is beautiful. I don't have any other Image hardcovers beyond Invincible, but I'm thoroughly impressed at this production value. We got a nice, vibrant color print on the dust jacket here, and frankly, I couldn't be more pleased about how this thing is put together. You can also get a good look at the spine here as we transition onto the back cover, of course. And wow, from moment one, I am absolutely stunned at the production value for this hardcover edition. It's beautiful. Okay, and now I wanted to take a few moments to show you that dust jacket one more time, as well as reveal the under the dust jacket art. I will say this is the newest print for this Invincible collection. I know some of the earlier editions, it was just a black hardcover book under the dust jacket, but I'm happy to report that these new editions, under the dust jacket, you have a full reprint of the dust jacket wrapped around. I just think that's a great added touch to get some bonus artwork on the actual book itself, even if it's just a reproduction of the dust jacket. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the binding. I will say it appears to be sewn binding. I've read through this collection and I have to say the binding is top notch, no problems there, but I just wanted to give you collectors a good look at what you can expect from these Invincible Ultimate collections. Transitioning into the collection proper as we open it up, the red end pages are gorgeous. They're even lightly textured. Just really impressed again by the production value of this volume. And we basically dive right in. I'm happy to report these are a glossy print, nice stock paper all throughout this Invincible collections. And you'll see here, in addition to the 13 issues, there's also a healthy portion of extras at the back of this volume. Really pads out the collection nicely, looks great on the bookcase, and the reprints are just gorgeous. Like perhaps many of you, I was kind of culturally aware of Invincible before I ever really dabbled in the books themselves. I knew that Image had a top tier superhero property that was doing really good. Once I found out about The Walking Dead, obviously Robert Kirkman was a name that I heard a lot and a lot and a lot. When I tied those two together, I realized, wow, I should really check out this book Invincible. I first really started reading this series years ago when I signed up for Comixology Unlimited. They had the first, maybe 50 issues of the title, and I devoured them. I loved them so much, but I haven't really gotten much past issue around 50, I'd say. So I'm only about a third through this series as far as what I've ever read. I've had some light series spoilers, unfortunately, but beyond that, I've only really read the first 50 issues, and that was years ago. So I knew I always wanted to collect the series, and I was trying to decide between the compendium editions, which were very, very cost-effective, or these ultimate collections, which are slightly less cost-effective, but still a pretty good deal. I picked up this guy for about $20, maybe $25, and I was really happy with that purchase to get this oversized first couple story arcs in here, and it's fantastic. Rereading it now, all these years later, I'm even more impressed by Invincible, especially what we get in this first volume here. And as far as what we get plot-wise in this book, this is a superhero origin story. Basically, it takes place in a universe where superheroes and supervillains and monsters and everything are pretty run-of-the-mill. They're kind of everywhere. And Earth has its greatest superhero, who goes by the name Omni-Man, and who serves as a kind of Superman analog. He's basically super strong, super fast, can fly, is nearly indestructible, and he's been saving the Earth for decades now. His origin is apparently similar as well, where he comes from a distant planet to kind of survey and watch over the Earth. And in the early pages of this volume, we find out that the titular character Invincible, Mark Grayson, is actually Omni-Man's son, who in the first issue acquires his genetically destined superpowers. He's also getting the same powers as Omni-Man, it appears, which is super speed, super strength, near invulnerability, and flight. But he's just a fledgling new rookie superhero, and he tries to get a costume, save the day, right wrongs, make other superhero friends, punch out the bad guys. But he also tries to be a high school student, be a son, be a friend. And it's kind of a weird mix of a just straightforward superhero epic with kind of a slice of life quality that I really think is a 1-2 punch for this title. Another thing to note about the series is that Kirkman is kind of a master of multiple plot lines all at once throughout this run that I've read so far. It's not uncommon to have 4 or maybe 5 plot threads kind of dangling or gradually growing all at once within issues, especially once we really start picking the story up. I think some of these first issues are a little kinder in that regard, sticking to kind of the straight-laced storytelling of the origin and the kind of character dynamics and introductions, but certainly by the end of this volume and into Ultimate Collection Volume 2, we really start to see some of Kirkman's master plotting as we get some of these subplots that weave in and out and all throughout. You can certainly find it in this volume as well, but that's something that just grows and grows. And as you start to grow an affinity for a lot of the characters and secondary characters, both heroes and villains, it makes everything that much more intriguing, and you really see Kirkman weave this rich tapestry throughout this saga. Along with that, we have some incredible work from Walker and Otley, the primary illustrators on this title. We see Otley do more and more as the series progresses, and I think that they really have a great vision of this character in this world. I feel like the art overall is extremely consistent, absolutely vibrant, and everything is just very clean. I love that the art is detailed, but not over cluttered. Everything is very clear and very, very well done. I think that the colorist, whoever that is on this as well, does a bang-up job at sticking to just kind of vibrant, I guess more primary colors, I would say. Everything really punches out in that kind of Silver Age quality, even with modern art, and I really love that. We don't have a lot that's drab or neutral tones or muddied. Everything is very vibrant and loud and just kind of awe-inspiring. You flip through this book and you absolutely get that feeling of quintessential superhero comics. So the fact that that happens within an indie title is absolutely amazing. I also just love the way that they do the panel layouts and breakdowns, and I mean particularly the way this is laid out. I will say this, I read a lot of these digitally, as I mentioned before, but it was an even better experience to read a physical copy, because there's this sense that at the end of a 2-page spread, you can go to the next page on a fresh left-hand page and have effectively a new scene or do time jumps. And I think that that's something that was maybe lost a little bit when I was reading digitally, this sense of turning the page and now you're really onto a next chapter or a next day or a next scene. And it really helped with the passage of time. It really helped kind of spread out some of those subplots that we start seeing, the kind of breakdown and how every double page spread would almost end a scene. Again, it's not for every scene, it's not every single pair of pages, but throughout, it's a device that I see Kirkman and the illustrators use, and I think it's just so effective at paneling and storyboarding, I guess. And I think that not everyone utilizes panel design like that, and it was really effective and engaging for the storytelling. I think Invincible is creatively disguised as a very generic, straightforward superhero story with a superhero trying to save the day. But what it actually masks is this really rich character-driven storytelling with a lot of character drama and realism that is lacking in so many other books. And this is where I really feel that slice of life quality really begins to show through. I think that what makes Invincible so engaging is not really the high-flying action-adventure aspects, even though that is very good and very well portrayed. I think it really is just the characterization. It's so rich that it almost does not matter what these characters are doing. You're gripped by them. They're relatable and absolutely authentic. There's a really clear sense of voice and differentiation between all the characters as well that make everyone in this cast punch out. So whether they're just getting together at a burger joint or saving the entire planet from some catastrophe, you are just as engaged. And Kirkman is really no slouch as far as tension, plotting, and even plot twists. As readers of this early couple volumes and this whole series probably know by now. There's so much to love here, and if you're a fan wanting to check out this comic, but maybe you don't read a lot of comics, maybe you heard about this property after watching the Amazon Prime animated series, for you I would say this is a great entry-level comic for anyone who's interested in this premise or just wanting to check it out. It's absolutely accessible, great for new readers, a really fun time throughout, and as you can see, great extras here at the back. And I think as we finish this collection, all that's left is to give Invincible the Ultimate Collection a grade. For an unbeatable superhero indie series with grounded characters, lush artwork, and plotting so gripping you'll be eager for that next Ultimate Collection, The Comic Book Report is happy to reward Invincible the Ultimate Collection Volume 1 an A. This is some top-tier comic book storytelling in my mind. If you haven't checked this out, this is a must-read from me, folks, and certainly not a title you want to sleep on. Have you read Invincible? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, this has been The Comic Book Report. Thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And until next time, have a good one.